I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All The Mons. So today, I've been very busy. And what do I mean by busy? Well, I made a custom texture pack that makes this armor actually look and match my fit. Well, and I also spent a lot of time apothesizing most of my gear, and I've got just about every socket set up, and we are now setting at a pretty darn OP level. Now, some things to note about apothesizing gear and also equipping gems. All you have to do to equip a gem is just simply right click it, and it is going to insert it into a socket if you have a socket. But when you're apothesizing gear, something I recommend, especially in these earlier tiers, is to try and get higher armor outputs or armor toughness on your base set on your values, and then also try to prioritize the percentage increase in armor. All of this is going to help boost. And as you can notice here, I have some protection increases. We're getting some really good gems that synergize with all of this stuff, including physical damage reduction, just simply trying to reduce as much damage as possible, and or preventing us from even taking damage. For example, with the gem that we have down here, which is reducing our overall chance of getting hit. What really allows us to scale up though is having a shield. So I made myself a beautiful Team Rocket shield by placing a banner on here, custom banner. And yes, you can see all of these benefits that you actually get from this. And this one I did Godforge because we are now, if you hit Control T, at the tier for which you do start to get Godforge things, so at the summit tier. Now, to prep us for today, what I had also done is I went out exploring, and I found something really cool when I was out exploring. A Best Buy gem. This thing is absolutely sick looking, and I love this style. And I noticed the little Team Rocket R down on the side as a little bit of graffiti. That I just absolutely love this graffiti. It looks so good. I can't wait to come back to this, but we have some more things to talk about, including upgrades that we've done to the R's gear itself. But before we do that, look what was right next door. Yes, my tower that I built on my Twitch live stream. So if you haven't followed me over on Twitch, you can find me at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect, where I did build this in an entirely different world where we were playtesting this mod pack. And I had a lot of fun. And yeah, you can find me in here and actually battle me. Look at that guy. I know you. By the way, if you do happen to find this, it has the perfect space up top for a mob farm with redstone control already built in. So now let's talk about the actual gear that we upgraded. So what I did that really makes this powerful, besides of course adding enchants and all that fun stuff, is threads. So we do have some different threads, and I ended up putting some really high tier ones. For example, the thread of True Sight at tier 4 grants us lava vision, and we also get all of the prerequisites. So we get immunity to darkness and blindness, and it gives us night vision, and that is pretty powerful on its own. And then also Thread of the Depths. Just at level 3, we no longer have to worry about breathing underwater, basically. So yes, very, very powerful. And I do recommend using an alteration table to throw this on your gear. Another reason why you should probably pick the Arcanist gear over the regular All The Mons gear. Now, some other awesome improvements. I mean, we also put spell power on here. So I do have a spell power one, and then we also have the warding. Spell power is going to increase our damage that we deal with our spells. And then we also have the warding, which is going to help reduce magic incoming damage at a fixed amount. And then we also have magic capacity, which is just going to raise it 10% per level. So at the moment, we should have like a 40% gain in overall mana capacity, or source capacity, I should call it. Oh boy, that was a lot to cover. But something that you may notice, yes, I am sick and I'm still recovering. The last couple of episodes I've been sick and I've been trying my best to get through them. So bear with me. Some other awesome things that I did is I finally enchanted my pickaxe, and I also Godforged it. And we managed to get +3 levels on existing fortune, which is absolutely insane. And I put a base level of fortune 3 on here. So with that +3, we now have fortune 8 on our Allthemodium pickaxe, and that should level up whenever we change this to Vibranium and Unobtainium. Speaking of Vibranium and Unobtainium, this is the whole reason why I got this gear in the first place, because our next step is Vibranium. And then also by the end of today's episode, the goal is to have reached Unobtainium level. By the way, underneath the little accessory screen, there is a sword here, and if you click hide changes, you can see all of your stat modifiers and what is modifying everything, you know, for all of you nerds that really, really love those stat changes. And so with this gear equipped, I'm setting at almost 100 armor. I don't know if I've ever seen the armor bar change and look like that before. And I haven't even God forged anything. I mean, we're still in the epic tier. Now, some other equipment that I did make is also the rings of greater discounts. Those are really easy to get set up, and also a mana of regen. These are going to help reduce spell cost. Speaking of spells, just a simple harm spell deals a tremendous amount of damage now, and we can spam this. And speaking of spells, this is where all of this gets really powerful. I went ahead and I spent some time this morning making a bunch of individual spells from different tiers, and there's still a lot more that I'm going to need to unlock, but I did get some really useful ones, I think, unlocked at the moment. And I even tried flying around. That's how I ended up finding that Best Buy base. Yeah, I was flying around looking for just the tier 1 glyph scrolls that exist in the Ars buildings. Yeah, and I was also hoping to find a library, but doesn't happen to seem to be one nearby. This one right here, for example. Yeah, I just don't think it exists in the overworld. Or if it does, it is really far away from me. Now, with all of these glyphs that I ended up unlocking, we can actually do create things with our glyphs. And yes, we do have the obliterate, and this is something that I did play around with a whole lot in my last Modpack playthrough, in the Modpack that I made that was called Create Integrated. But in this Modpack, we have the same mod in here. So yes, doing create things with ours is really quite easy. Like, let's say we want to use crushing wheels. I haven't even made crushing wheels. We can do the crushing operation with this obliterate, so long as you apply sensitive afterwards. And so if we have some ore, or raw ore, we can go ahead and throw it on the ground, use this on it, and the hammer literally crushes it, as if it was just thrown into a crushing wheel. Oh, and yes, these spells can be automated. Yeah, with the R spell turret. It's 100% doable. But the thing I really want Rs for is the ability to hurt things really badly. And not only badly, but hurt a lot of things badly. Now, thankfully, there's another mod in here that allows us to do some really powerful chaining of effects. For example, if we shoot a mob, we can then chain it to attach to other entities that are nearby. And so we can expand the range that it will, or the amount of mobs that it will chain to by using AoE, and then the range that it will jump gaps to, we can increase with Pierce. So just something simple like this, and then hitting it with just a regular harm spell, because of our amplification of everything and how much damage we deal, this spell right here alone can take out mobs that are really far away from each other, and a lot of them very quickly. And if we want to pick up the drops, we can just do pickup, and that should also allow it to move the drops into our inventory, right? I mean, if it does take the mob out, that is, or the mob actually drops any items. Yes, absolutely ridiculous. Maybe not picking up the items. Oh well. I mean, the pickup might work if we also increased its AoE range. And I love that we have the ability to add even more glyphs. Like, this is where things get absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, chaining to these mobs, for example. Oh, you can actually see the area that it is picking things up. So, oh my goodness. Oh, now this is perfect. If I can land one of these next to it. Oh, and it takes them all out. Now, let's say I wanted to add a little bit of flair to this spell. Well, yes, that can be done, and we can utilize Obliterate to deal a ton of damage. This is dealing like 45 damage, give or take, with all of these amplifiers we're able to apply to it. And you get this absolutely wild hammer effect, which I love. Which, this can be used for shiny hunting, but we're going to use this in a very special place in the other. And before we do all of that, we technically need to go back to the nether, and there's a lot of things we need to farm in the nether. For one, Vibranium. If we want the ability to automate Allthemodium, Unobtainium, and Vibranium, we are going to need to have them at least first. And we're also going to have to upgrade our gear. So at the moment we have Allthemodium, which is what we need to be able to break Vibranium. And if we want to be able to break Unobtainium ore, we're going to need Vibranium tools to be able to do that. So we do have to kind of tier progression here. And thankfully, I left myself a position in our treasure bastion that we found a few episodes ago. Yes, this beautiful place. And I tell you, this would be a great place to test this spell out on. Oh my goodness, it just completely destroys everything. Oh man, this is actually absurd. Okay, if you miss an entity, it just spawns a massive area that it's going to do the crushing in. Holy smokes. Okay, but in this bastion, there is something specific that we are looking for, and we are looking for a very specific sort of structure. This structure right here is where I typically find the soul sand that we're going to need to be able to brush, and it does look like just regular soul sand, and we should be able to find it laying around here somewhere. Aha, it was hidden back here in that structure that I was mentioning before. This we do need to brush, as this is what's going to give us a very important tool for upgrading our tools that we currently have and our gear. Yeah, the Vibranium smithing template. And once we have it, you can see Allthemodium is what we're going to need in order to make more of them. Also, with so many of these down here, oh, that is so satisfying. Now that we have the template, we still need to find Vibranium ore. And it's actually kind of common in the Nether, and you will find it up around the Nether roof area. Just sort of go down, and you'll find it along these ledges. I mean, it's really hard to miss. Because it looks like this. And I mean really hard to miss. And so long as you have some fortune, we should be able to get more than just one. Yeah, look at that. There's already more right there. There's some right here. Yeah, we just got 10 from that one break. There we go. Yeah, we're going to collect plenty of this. No way. A shiny haunter. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Get out of the fire. Get out of the fire. You burn to death. The shiny haunter literally burned. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. That's really depressing. Now, after all of that, I was pretty depressed after losing that haunter that was shiny. But you know what? I still ended up with quite a bit of Vibranium. It's so much easier to gather it in that dimension. Now, to be able to crush it and break it down into 2 components, instead of using a hammer, we can just use a crush spell now, which I think is fantastic. So we bring that in, and we have crush with sensitive to be able to target entities. We drop that down, and that gets turned into dust, and it does double it, by the way. And then we can just toss it in for a quick smelt, and we have ourselves Vibranium, and quite a bit of Vibranium, mind you. Now, it doesn't stop there for the progression, because to be able to make more of the smithing templates, we are going to need ancient stone. To be able to get ancient stone, we get that from the other dimension. And if you remember how to get to the other, you need a telepad inside of the Nether, and shift right click with an empty hand. And I think we actually have to have the shield unequipped to be able to do this also. And we can get to this dimension. And honestly, if ancient stone is what we want, it is just directly underneath our feet. You know what? While we're here, we should be on the lookout for these right here. If you take a look and you type in well and look for wishing wells, we can search out these wishing wells, and these provide some really good buffs. But why are the buffs important? You can see it's giving us resistance. Well, it gives us enough resistance that we can actually scrape this with a card, and it's going to keep applying it until we max out a resistance card. How easy is that at getting unlimited potion effects? Now, another place we're going to need to look for while we're here is the dungeon, which is actually this building right here. I'm still going after wells, but I definitely want to put a waystone down for this. Oh, don't worry. I'll be back for you in just a minute. Oh, now this biome is super cool. As I'm looking for more wells, this is like apricorn trees that are just completely surrounded with all of the different color apricorns. I really like this. Ouch. You definitely got to be careful. I just got wither from that wishing well. What a wishing well that one was. Also, by the way, I just randomly stumbled upon the pyramid. We are going to need to use this pyramid in the future. Specifically for the pig liches. Even though these aren't your typical pig liches. Look at that. Level 40 pig lich? Suspicious. You know what else is suspicious? These. What? Level 35 creeper. And it's a Creepymon. Oh my gosh. As if I couldn't hate creepers more. Now, I got pretty lucky with the resistance over there on the wells, but I did not get lucky with the regeneration. However, you can find regeneration there, but there is another way we can actually get regeneration. And hey, look, what do we have here? I will definitely buy your evolution items. Yes, thank you. Now, honestly, a lot of these effects we should be able to just easily get from Mystical Agriculture Supremium apples, which are absolutely broken and ridiculous. Whenever we eat this, we get ourselves some effects. So we got absorption, which whenever we use this should take a particular effect from us. So there's absorption, there's resistance. This one is speed. And then eventually we'll be able to capture the regeneration too. And then we also have strength. So yes, lots of effects. And we just go through and we just make sure to cycle these out. So we can put these all in our hotbar and just pull the effects after we eat the apples. It's kind of broken. And there we go. Perfect. All of those are set. And then we can go into our pylon here and just drop them in. Everything except for this one, which says effects is disabled in the configs. And now all of these potion effects should get applied to us soon. Yeah. Including regeneration 2, absorption, which should go away shortly. Strength, all of these things. And just when you think I don't need these things, yeah, we definitely do. Now back to what we were actually doing. That's right. We were making duplicates of our smithing templates, and we're going to need enough to cover all of our gear. So that's going to be one for each. And then also our sword and our pickaxe I want to upgrade. Oh, and definitely the spell book too. Also, I got to stop for a second and I got to catch him. I mean, yes, this is like the pre-evolved form of Wobbuffet. Come on, let me get a first catch. Let this ball actually be worth all of the effort put into crafting it. It's only a level 1. Okay, yeah, that had to have worked. Perfect. Now, back at the mob farm, it is time to level this up. So yes, we are going to be turning this from Allthemodium to Vibranium. This is just one of many steps of the things we're doing today, but our stats are all going to increase. This is like increasing tremendously. So many good things. Like our sword's damage just went up dramatically. Our pickaxe is now even better than it was before, as if things couldn't already get better. Oh, our armor is now it's purple. It's purple and green now, like Unobtainium and Vibranium. It's fantastic. I love this already. I mean, just look at that. I'm rocking a Barney armor bar. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth, but they did today. Something to note on our spell book. Yes, we earned even more slots now. That's great. But now we need to get Unobtainium. And this does require going to the inn to be able to get Unobtainium, which we should be able to mine now. But we can't use the Unobtainium. To be able to use Unobtainium, we need the smithing template. And to be able to get the smithing template, we've got to go back to the other. And this is where things get dangerous. And this is why I've prepped all of my gear for this one task. Now, the location of the smithing template for this is quite convoluted, but in the Allthemodium tab, it does describe this, I think, quite well. We need to find a library in the other inside of a dungeon that is in the other. And that dungeon is what we found just a little bit ago, just by stumbling upon it. But this is where you would probably want to use your structure compass. So get ready, because things are about to get wild. We need to make our way right down into the center, and we are going to keep going through here. And I recommend vein mining all of this, breaking these, and then getting ready to use the chain spell that we set up before, and hoping that everything that we've done up to this point was worth the while. Yes, I think this chain spell is going to work. I am just using chain and then this time just harm, which is going to help me clear a lot of these mobs out, making this job so much easier. But this right here, this is the library room. So if you see this at the bottom, this is what you need to get to. And then what you want to do is break all of these spawners in this room just to make life a little bit easier on you. Now, in the center is a trial chamber, but this is the thing we have to get through. It's going to take just a minute. But we do have to take this guy out. Our spell should be more than enough to do it. You don't need too much at all. And look at this. It is just completely annihilating this guy. No problem whatsoever. And this is just a regular R spell, by the way. Also, our spell power should have went up. so these spells are dealing even more damage than they were before. But the final drop comes out of here when this trial is over. And it's definitely worth the wait. Oh man, as if there wasn't anything else to take on after this. Yes, there definitely is. There is Cataclysm bosses and stuff that are incredibly difficult. But there we go! And that should have granted us, after a few items here, there we go, the Unobtainium smithing template. To make more of this, you do need Vibranium and Instone, but this is by far one of the hardest things to come by, just because of the mob clutter. If you do not prep yourself for this, you're going to have a hard time clearing out these mobs and just handling the mobs attacking you. All right, well, can you believe it? We're almost there. We are almost to Unobtainium in this pack. Now all we have to do is go to the end. Now, to be able to locate where the end stronghold is, well, I recommend clicking on the Young's stronghold, and that is the one we need to find. And about 2,000 blocks out, we're going to be there. Now, I wonder, I just found this, which is right nearby where we're supposed to be, like within 80 blocks. And this generates, it's supposed to teleport you to a nearby structure. And so I would assume that it should teleport me right into the stronghold. Yes, or near the stronghold. The stronghold should be here. Or not. This is like 700 blocks away. Wow, that was a bad teleport. So yeah, definitely be careful using those. They can take you quite far. But you know what? Right down here is where we need to go. Man, this pick is so fast and so good. And right down into the chamber. Now, if we didn't have night vision, we wouldn't be able to see a darn thing, as it is completely pitch black, so I'm kind of glad that we have this night vision. But now the hard part with this particular stronghold, finding where the actual portal is, as that can be one of the biggest challenges as you're just running from room to room. But this would be a good time to grab some artifacts from these chests, because they are quite plentiful here. Ooh, and there may be some special TRs and TMs that we can get our hands on that are in here. Another thing is, don't expect to find the actual portal in the same place I'm going to find it in, because this, yes, is randomly generated. Now, thankfully, it didn't take all that long to be able to find this, but here we go. And so, something that would feel super significant inside of a vanilla playthrough, inside of modded, going to the end is really not that important at all, honestly. I mean, going to the end is pretty important, but getting to the end is usually a milestone that's kind of overridden by a lot of other things. Considering we've already done some really insane things, but we do probably want to get the dragon to spawn in, so you got to get up here. That will make the annoying bell sound stop, and then we just need to let the dragon generate. Now that the dragon's generated, there's a few things I would want to grab, like Dragon's Breath, but I am just going to leave the dragon for now. I don't really think we have to take it out. And beautiful. With that done, I'm just going to start heading off in a general direction, leaving that dragon behind. And there we go. The end is now generating for us. Now, we definitely could have made it here a long time ago. Like, we definitely would have had no problem getting here, and it would have made getting Chorus Fruit a little bit easier than the method that we did use. But I'm not even here for that. I am just simply here to destroy this dimension. Well, I mean, as if it hasn't been destroyed enough as it is. Oh, and hey, looky there. Unobtainium ore. That's exactly what we're after. And we have done it. That was pretty darn quick, but I do want to show you a pretty neat method for being able to find more of this stuff. And I've shown a ton of different ways to do this in these mod packs. I've shown you anything from using R's to clear out enormous areas to, well, blowing an area up with a Manhattan module from Auratech. But today, I'm going to go old school and simple. We're just going to use the destruction gadget. So we just need to open up the destruction gadget menu and make sure we set all of our sizes to max, and then just find a nice little area like this right here and right click. And it is mesmerizing. Make sure you're in a highlands biome, and yeah, this is going to most likely start to clear out areas and hopefully expose some of the material. If not, we'll just keep destroying more of the island. And that right there is exactly what we're looking for. Now, something I will note about doing this, it does void everything that it is destroying. Well, minus the ore, that is. But this is nice. This has to also be one of the fastest methods I think I've ever used. Clearing this out is really fast. Oh my goodness. This entire area was cleared out with just a few clicks. Now, as much as I would love to explore the inn and also potentially find some more Pokemon here, which we'll probably do in the future, I think it's now time to head back home, and now let's go ahead and upgrade our gear to Unobtainium level. And the same thing like we did earlier, we can crush all of this. Oh, it's so quick too. And voila, we now have Unobtainium, and we have completed that section. Now back over to the mob farm, we can go ahead and upgrade all of our gear and equipment once again. Now that we have the Unobtainium upgrade and Unobtainium, we get the beautiful purple gear. And this makes our equipment insanely powerful. Look at that. We go from 36 base damage to 51. Oh my goodness. And our spell book increases, giving us max slots. And now we are max gear. And it looks like the armor colors don't even go higher than purple. So our armor definitely went up. And now we can take a look. Our armor went from almost 100 earlier in Allthemodium, now to 141 with no changes to our apotheosis stuff, just simply upgrading our gear. That right there is absurd. And yes, I bet our spell base power deals so much more damage now. If we switch this over, for example, to the chain damage, 56 now is what we are dealing from a base level harm spell. And I can only imagine the shenanigans we can come up with down the road. Now, of course, we can't end without a battle. I definitely want to take on again Commander Mars, which is a rematch, and Fire Charge. I don't remember exactly what Mons they had, but Fire Charge, possibly fire typing. Okay, we'll give it a shot. We'll definitely give it a shot. And I'll definitely start the battle with Gyarados. Okay, so let's get this party started. Here we go. All right, Crobat. Oh my gosh, the tongue. I was not expecting the tongue. Okay, that caught me. Show me your skills. It even says it in chat. That caught me off guard. All right, typing. I mean, we can definitely hit Ice Fang. That'll do pretty good, right? Oh, very, very nice. Okay. They didn't do too much damage at all. All right, and they're level 37. Ah, they used their one potion. All right, so they used their one item. That is fine. Oh, I wonder what is the best here. Ominous Wind sounds kind of cool. I'm going to take that for right now. Perfect. Oh, now I remember. Yes. Purgly. You are a Mon for sure. Okay. Fighting type moves. I don't really have any Mon besides Sceptile, technically, that has some fighting type moves, but none of them will deal any major damage here. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fine. We'll have to see though. What should I use? I'm trying to think here. I mean, we can try Hurricane, but the chance of it missing is pretty high, and I don't have any setup to be able to not miss. Yeah, that's pretty understandable. Definitely missing. Am I gonna miss again? Okay, I didn't miss that time, and we got a confusion on there. That's perfect. All right, I'm just gonna go straight up for Dragon Rage. And we'll just take that. We'll just keep using Dragon Rage for the remainder of this session here. I think we're going to be good. And we're going to completely wipe them regardless. Ooh, Dream Eater. Kind of interesting. Oh, this is definitely going to be a swap out moment. Okay, I think I'm going to switch for Charizard. There we go. Yeah. I wonder if I can Mega straight out of this. Can I Mega and then Fire Blitz? It does let me Mega. Okay, so it's got to be like on the third move set or third wave that allows me to Mega Evolve. This is so overkill. Yeah, that was definitely unnecessary. Trick Room. That was definitely unnecessary, but I loved it. That was great. And Commander Mars, you are gone. Like, actually gone now. And goodbye. Have a good one. Thanks for playing. And now you can start to see my evil arc really starting to show. We are becoming way more powerful than when we initially started. And I hope you guys are enjoying this thus far. And if you are, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. But now, without further ado, it's time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Azza. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in one of the best ways possible. Thank you so very much. And guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode where we should be automating Allthemodium, Vibranium, and Unobtainium. I hope you're looking forward to that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!